So while we're always trying to say, oh, the single mother this, the single mother that, what is it? Is it that our men are the weakest? Because
no, let me go a step further for you, right? I'll be vulnerable and reveal a little bit about my past. So my father lived on the first floor of my building and I lived on the second floor. Never knew that was my dad. Found out when I was 14 that was my father.
So whose fault is that? Right? I want to know that.
Let me finish.
No, first I want to know that.
Wait, let me finish.
Need all the facts of the story.
Let me finish, right? Probably about a week later, he saw me in the lobby. He said, so you know? I said, yeah. And he said, okay. And it was, right back to business, right? Never really said anything to me after that. Now, as I grew and I became a man and I matured and I had children, you know what it taught me? I didn't have resentment towards my dad. What it made me realize is, damn, I wonder what my dad went through in his life. Let me finish. That didn't allow him to be the type of man that could show me love and raise me, right? This is what y'all forget about. Men are human. Y'all have this thing. No, because when y'all have the, and I see it all the time. When a woman kills a man, oh my God, what he put her through, right? Like, y'all have so much sensitivity and empathy for the fact that women are human and they go through things and they have traumas, but that's totally absent when it comes to men. I'm sorry, yes, there are fathers that left home because they're deadbeats. There are fathers who had trauma, who it didn't begin with them. And there are fathers who were alienated. But I hate this narrative that every time it's a negative thing about a man, we think to the worst. Men are human.
No, I said we need community for men because this is an issue that doesn't stop and the numbers are high.
Yes.
So that's all I'm saying. The numbers are high. That's why
But guess what? But just as much as men are the reason, women are too, because a lot of fathers are alienated out of the home. You are looking at a man who was alienated from his child's life for God knows how long. And I fought for it. You understand what I mean? So what I'm telling you is we are both at fault. And as long as we keep pointing fingers, I don't think anything's going to be solved. I think what we need to do.
Not what she's saying, though.
I didn't say that at all.
Wait, just hear what I'm saying. I think what we need to do is men need to focus on improving themselves. Yes. Women need to focus on improving them. The community of men needs to focus on making their brother better, and the community of women needs to focus on making their sister better. Right? Because that's not what occurs, right? When the conversation occurs, it's the girl, yes, you chose yourself, right? No, but it's, how about but girl, how could you have been a better woman? How could you have handled this better?
Conversations as well, and we do.
We literally just
and we literally are raising these men on a lot of times.
I literally just said,
fathers. Yeah, do you know what strength that takes?
No, and it takes community. And I did say I commend you. I commend you because, and let me tell you the sad thing. When I heard you say that, you know what? I thought that you are the exception because that is not the majority. That's the reality, and you know that.
That's why I high five.
And you know that.
But I mean, I still feel as though with everything that I've gone through and everything that the choices that I've made, I feel as though there still is a lack of men being held accountable for certain things. And I wish that men were working together more to hold their brothers accountable.
All men are held accountable.
I don't think so.
If all men are held accountable.
Again, the clip said the women came over as a community. They helped their pack. Right. But in the very, very beginning, the man said, hey, I spoke to him. And I said, you are just experiencing cold feet. You made a choice to be with this woman. That was him holding him accountable. And you saw that. That was his.
Oh, I don't know which one you're talking about. I'm sorry.
The man.
The guy that was in the corner of the video.
Oh, that guy. Okay. Yeah. I was rolling my eyes. I was probably like.
There was something in your eye at the time.
I was just like, what? I didn't want to hear it. So maybe that's my fault.
I'm saying that was him holding him accountable right in front of you. Like right in front of you.
But the thing is that, I think you and I, we had like a conversation about this. The point that Jada is trying to make is that as a general matter, men do not have commune with each other. Right?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Then we wouldn't have the numbers and the issues that we have in our community, which goes back to now us women being the issue because we're so annoyed and aggravated. We're bringing our trauma to the next man every time.
You may mean the right commune,
yes.
but we do have
that I can agree. Maybe not the right commune.
So the thing is that we're talking this both sexes shit. So what I'm saying is comparable to what I'm applying to men. So like I said, men are not in commune. You might know your home. Do you know your homeboys' kids' ages?
Yes, I can agree that men don't have enough. They're not surrounded by enough positive influences.
Yes,
that I can agree because
I'm not saying just hanging out, going playing basketball, going doing whatever. I'm saying like
When I
Like,
go
no-
to my church, I visit churches all the time. And just even in general, I'm not saying people have to go to church, but I'm saying people have to seek like, like everything that you should know about life. I personally feel as though is in the Bible.
Well-
but when I go to church, I don't see as many men seeking those things. No, I'm just,
Because men-
you guys are taking it too deep. I'm not
No, I
saying you
don't.
have to
I'm
believe in
not.
Jesus Christ now. I'm saying just knowing, there's Proverbs, just knowing how to be a good person to others, just knowing how to be a person that gives, that takes care of children, that takes care of the elderly, that doesn't lie, that doesn't steal. Those things are in the Bible.
Men-
So I'm not saying just out of a religious aspect. I'm saying go back to learning how to be a better person, and it starts probably in the church for some people.
Men do hold church.
Which only women are at.
Men do hold church amongst themselves, right? Every man has maybe a small circle of friends that they speak to every morning, right? Like it might be one or two friends that 3 or 4 times out the week that they speak to. Now the question is, what are they talking about?
Exactly.
That is the question. And I would agree that men don't have enough men who are speaking things of substance, right? Who are positive influences in their life. Do men commune? Definitely. What they commune about maybe BS. You know what I mean? But they definitely do commune.
So I'm not saying men don't hang out, which would, I guess.
No, it's
which
not
that's
even
really,
hang out.
No, what I'm saying is like commune again. We're talking about parallel things. If we're gonna say, oh, it's men and women's fault, fine. But if we're gonna say commune the same way as far as women commune, men should be doing the same thing.
We
And
do.
No, we're not. We're not just hanging out.
No, I'm not talking about hang out. I'm not talking about hang out. What I'm saying is like we have to be, if we're trying to resolve an issue, we have to be specific, right? Because people jump on the defensive. When you go, men don't commune, they're going to go, but we do get together. No, so you have to say, I understand that you do commune, but what are you guys talking about, right? Are you guys talking about things that are going to, that are focused on your betterment? Are you guys just focused on financial growth, or are you focused on emotional and spiritual growth? Do you guys speak about things like that? Because I can tell you, I have friends that I'm surrounded by that I speak to 3 or 4 times a week, right? When we speak in the morning, those
You're also a good man that
no,
you went through everything that you went through. You persevered through it. You did the work. What we're saying is there's a lot of men that are out there alone that don't know where to go. They don't have the community. They don't have a man like you to say, oh, I'm about to go into the hood today and go preach to, not preach, but go speak to the younger generation that are leaning out off of drugs.
Because
Whatever.
I have a friend of mine. He's married, right? He's married. He has 2 kids. And he tells me, like, he said, I know you hate when I say this. He said, but bro, you're the reason I'm married. He said, the man that I was before, I would have never entertained this. He said, but you're the one that made me understand that infidelity made me weak. It didn't make me strong. I was surrounded by people who made me feel that the more women I slept with defined me as more of a man, right? But I used to tell him, but bruh, if you have a woman, then you're good. It doesn't make sense. You understand? You made a commitment. If that's the case, then be brave enough to be transparent and tell her that this is what you want to do. And he's like, yeah, but I don't want to lose her. I'm like, okay, then if you don't want to lose her, protect what you value. And once again, men commune, but what are they talking about when they commune? That's the thing, right?
And when are they talking about it? Are we talking about it at the very end, like once we've already committed the sin? Or are we talking about it in the beginning to prevent the sin?
Yeah.
So
There's a story on that too, guys.
Right.
Samson.
End of the day.
Fidelity.
Men don't commune.
Thank you.
I don't agree, but I get where you're coming from.
Yes, do you hang out? Yeah, but I'm talking about
Yeah.
I'm talking about actually, I mean, and I can't speak for anybody else except for the people who I
no.
commune with.
Yeah.
But I have friends when I want the honest truth, I go to them. I have friends when I need the reaction that I was gonna perform.
Validation.
No. I call this, am I tripping?
Yeah.
Or like, am I doing too much?
Yeah.
Right? If I don't, if I already know it's cool, I don't need validation.
Checking the temperature, right?
Right. Like even when I'll give you a perfect example. Like something happened with my brother and my sister-in-law. I mean, yeah, them. And I literally called my line sister to ask her, like, I love both of them. I want to be involved, but I don't. And I also don't want to mess up relationships. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, what do I do in this situation? And I went to her because I've known her forever. You know, she knows my brother. She knows like a lot of things that have gone on in our lives. She also knows, she has a lot of the background, right? And so I wanted to, before I just acted and did what makes sense to me, I was like, you know what, let me see what she say. Like somebody is gonna, you always have a friend that's gonna tell you like, back, you know, or you're gonna have a friend that's gonna, and you know, they'll, even though they're looking at the situation and like, and they know you, they're gonna give you that honest truth about whether what you're decide or what you think you want to do, whether it's decent or not.